We begin tonight with breaking news. Our top stories involved a Rochester police officer who's recovering tonight after being stabbed. Plus, we are following the tragic death of five-time NBA champion Kobe Bryant. Details on how Bryant was killed coming up. But first, we begin with police officers attacked here in Rochester. A Rochester police officer is recovering after being stabbed in that attack this morning. Investigators say a suspect is now in custody after being shot. This all happened in the area of Glendale Park around 11 o'clock. News 10 NBC's Andrew Hyman is live there right now with the very latest developments. And Andrew, what can you tell us?
Well, Jen, the road here on Dewey Avenue behind me is open back up. You can see there are still Rochester police here, both to the left and to my right shoulder. The van that's over here just showed up a short time ago, and there's quite the perimeter that runs back through several neighborhoods. It was blocked off where we are a short time ago, but this is all part of a very long day for Rochester police as they try to get to the bottom of just what led up to an attack on one of their own. In a sea of flashing lights and police tape, a quiet morning came to a loud halt as Rochester Police and several other departments responded to a stabbing attack on an officer. It started with a call for a man police say was possibly on drugs and breaking out windows on Glendale Park.
This could be considered a normal call that you'd go to on any given day.
But police say the normal changed quickly as officers on scene walked up to a 20-year-old man, and without warning, the man attacked the two officers.
There was no chance for the officers even to assess the state of the individual.
Police say one of those officers was a 20-year veteran on the force. He was stabbed in the face. Sometime during the attack, an officer shot his gun and hit the suspect at least once. But then he ran from police, and it led to a chase, which ended on Dewey Avenue. The man was taken into custody.
It's crazy.
Miguel Garcia lives just blocks from the scene near Dewey. He says he heard what sounded like firecrackers, and then he ran outside.
My kids, that's the first thing that came through my mind, my kids. You know, he's crazy.
Police say the officer was taken to Strong Memorial Hospital, and the man was taken to Rochester General. Both men are expected to survive. But the question left by both Garcia and police is why.
The fact that somebody decided to attack an officer is disturbing, and it should be disturbing to everybody.
In a statement, Rochester Mayor Lovely Warren said, "Our police officers put themselves at risk every time they put on their uniform. Sadly, today, one of Rochester's finest was injured while protecting our city." She went on to say, "While I am heartened to hear the injured officer will be released from the hospital and heading home soon, I ask all of our residents to pray for him and his family. I am thankful that no one was more seriously injured in this incident and wish our officer a quick and full recovery." Now, police are not releasing the name of the officer or the suspect at this time. This blockade that you see behind us could be lasting into the night as police continue their investigation. Obviously, we'll work with police to bring you the latest and any sort of new developments. Now, coming up here on News 10 NBC at 11 later tonight, this scene is an eerily familiar sight for Rochester Police. Just a few months ago, a similar attack happened on one of their officers. We're going to take a look into that and how police are responding to this incident. For now, in Rochester, Andrew Hyman, News 10 NBC. Jen.
All right, Andrew, thank you. Now to some tragic breaking news developing out of Southern California. Former LA Lakers basketball star Kobe Bryant has died in a helicopter crash. Officials say Bryant was among 9 people killed in that crash, including the pilot. News 10 NBC sports reporter Carly Massetti is joining us now with the heartbreaking details. Carly.
Yeah, Jen, as you said, a heartbreaking day for not only the sports community, but across the entire nation as we learn of the tragic death of NBA legend Kobe Bryant. The 31-year-old was among 9 people killed in a helicopter crash in Southern California earlier today. One of those passengers was Bryant's 13-year-old daughter, Gianna. They were reportedly on their way to a basketball game. The crash happened around 10 a.m. on a hillside in Calabasas. Fire officials say the helicopter was on fire and sparked a quarter-acre brush fire. Officials say flames were put out by 10:30 a.m. this morning. The crash comes one day after Bryant was passed by LA Lakers forward LeBron James for 3rd place on the NBA's all-time scoring list, in which Bryant was active on social media last night, congratulating James. Bryant won 5 NBA titles in his time with the Lakers and 2 Olympic gold medals playing for the United States. Now 4th on the NBA's all-time scoring list with 33,643 points, Bryant won 2 NBA Finals MVP awards and 1 NBA regular season MVP nod in 2008. He wore numbers 8 and 24, which were both retired, becoming the only player in NBA history to have multiple jerseys retired by a single franchise. Bryant leaves behind his wife Vanessa and 3 other daughters. According to the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, an investigation is still ongoing.
And as you said, Carly, Kobe leaves behind 3 daughters, the youngest just being 7 months old. I can't even imagine what his wife and family are going through right now. He was a legend both on the court and off the court. He was an excellent role model for children aspiring to play basketball. Just such a tragic loss.
Oh yeah, there's no way to truly measure the impact of Kobe Bryant. We can talk about all of his accolades across the course of his career, but I mean, it's hard to put it into words.
Absolutely heartbreaking. Carly, thank you. Switching to weather now, let's get a quick check of your first alert forecast.
Stand by.
This is WBC-TV, proudly serving Rochester.
We're ready. We're here.
From the sky,
Impact
this is now snow-covered ground at Sampson Veterans Memorial Cemetery in Romulus. In just 9 years.
2 officers.
Berkeley, step to your left.
So will we see some more snow on Monday? That answer is coming up.
All right, Samantha, thank you. The State Department is making plans to evacuate Americans from Wuhan, China. That's the city of the epicenter of the coronavirus outbreak that has killed at least 56 people. 2,000 Chinese have been infected, and Chinese officials expect the number of cases to keep rising. Meanwhile, the number of confirmed cases in the United States has risen to 5. That's according to the CDC. NBC's Molly Hunter reports from London.
The numbers are startling, and apparently the ability to spread is, quote, getting even stronger. China's health ministry has made a couple important points. First, the disease can spread during the incubation period, meaning before any flu-like symptoms show up, an unknowing infected patient could be contagious. And second, it will linger. They expect a rise in the number of cases in the next few weeks before it's under control. And not just a few, they expect 1,000 new cases at least. And that's why they're building new hospitals at absolutely Mach speed to get them up and running. But consider this number. In Wuhan, 5 million people left the city and 9 million people are still there. Of course, that is ground zero where quarantine measures are currently in effect. But there are hundreds of Americans living in Wuhan. NBC News spoke with a couple and they're nervous.
How do I feel about being here and locked in with no information and dwindling supplies? I feel extremely horrible.
Understandably, of course, the U.S. Embassy in Beijing has been in touch, emailing Americans and actually putting out some tweets to get the message out about possible evacuation plans for citizens who don't work for the government. But right now, every little cough, every little sneeze, and they're getting even more nervous. Molly Hunter, NBC News, London.
And back here at home, Governor Cuomo announced today 3 more people here in New York State are currently being tested for the coronavirus. That brings the total number of people tested in the state to 7. The CDC says 3 of those cases were negative. 4 results are still pending. Those 4 individuals remain in isolation. But so far, there have been no confirmed cases of the coronavirus in New York State. Governor Cuomo says the state is prepared and continues to take all necessary steps to keep people informed and safe. Still to come on News 10 NBC at 6, an arrest has been made in connection to a shooting that happened yesterday morning in Rochester. And we have a reminder for those of you who shop at Wegmans. We'll check out the big change that takes effect in just a few hours.
News 10 NBC is brought to you in part by
Yeah.
You deserve affordable health care.
That was the A block.